just saw a huge plume of black smoke come up from my left to my right, which would be from west to east. And I thought either a house blew up or a plane had crashed. I came around the corner, and the plane was upside down, just rocking back and forth next to the runway.
A couple of celebrities posted on Twitter they witnessed the crash as well. Comedian Kevin Nealon tweeted, "Horrible plane crash here at Aspen Airport, exploded into flames as it was landing. I think it was a private jet." And country singer Leanne Rimes tweeted, "So sad, horrible plane crash. We just saw it happen at the Aspen Airport." The FAA is investigating this crash now. So far, they tell us they think the plane was a Bombardier Challenger 600 coming from Tucson, Arizona. 9 News aviation expert Greg Feith joins us now. And Greg, in terms of the Aspen Airport on a sunny day, it's tough to put a plane down there.
You're right, Cheryl. The big thing with Aspen is the fact that pilots have to make a very high approach into that airport, and with the weather conditions the way they were, the reported winds, it sounds like they may have had a tailwind as the airplane was landing. That's the worst thing you can do, flying an airplane into Aspen, because it has a short runway, only 8,000 feet.
We see that snow and ice. You talked about the winds there. Obviously, weather is the number one factor here that everyone's going to be looking at. And it looked by some of the data that they circled the airport a number of times.
One of the issues that the investigators are going to be looking at, of course, is the weather. There are certain weather minimums. That is, the cloud level has to be at a certain height. Visibility has to be such that the pilots can actually execute the approach. If the weather had gone down below minimums, they may have put the airplane in a holding pattern, so the crew would have had to loiter waiting for the weather to get better. So the FAA and the NTSB will be looking at those factors to see if weather played a factor from that standpoint, as well as, of course, the gusty wind conditions that did exist up there today.
That graphic that was on the screen just a second ago, Greg, it was tough to see, but those green lines showed circles that would indicate they had gone right there in the middle. It's tiny, but it looks like a number of loops around the airport there. Is that what we're seeing?
Yes, and that's the issue typically with that kind of issue. They're going to see if that airplane actually executed the approach, and then what we call missed approach. That is, they decided to abandon the approach, come back and try it again. There's a number of circles there, so there was a lot of activity with that particular airplane, and of course investigators are going to have to sort that out. The more times you try to get into the airport, especially under variable weather conditions like the snow and the blowing wind down there, the higher your probability is that you increase the risk and you have an unfortunate accident like this.